person, okay, does job in so many areas, core area will be there. Okay.
No, I understand. Let me give you my present thing. I have already done because I have come into this profession after a very long time. I had an IT background earlier. I was doing like earlier means like I'm joining this field again in 10-15 years, you can say.
Okay.
So I did an QA course last 2 years back, and I was looking for a job, and then I found that there was a job opportunity in EDI section. So I just did a crash course online, nothing professional or anything, and now I am doing a job, but now I'm handling slowly. It's a small firm, so I'm doing the operations, you can say. I'm doing EDI as well as operations, and then now I'm interested in it. Now it's been an year I'm working.
Okay.
I know basic things about EDI, but I see that I will tell you what my plan is now. Do this SD course, or you can advise me what will be good for me. I want to go into ALE iDocs, SAP ALE iDocs.
So
because
you want to only ALE iDocs?
I don't know this SAP field, and I was looking internet, and it's like becoming confusing. So many modules are there. I don't know what to do. Then I think like that. Let me just do this SD course first.
SD ALE iDoc and all are used by SD guys.
Sorry.
ALE iDoc, application link enabling and electronic data interchange. Both tools utilizes one document called as iDoc.
iDoc, right.
Okay. ALE and EDA.
Yeah, but so SD will be helpful in that, doing that?
For SD, ALE and iDoc are helpful.
Okay. So what is the first stage, SD or ALE iDocs?
SD will come first, later ALE iDoc. ALE iDoc are the helping factors for SD, MM, all these things. So only ALE iDoc, if you learn, means there is no way or there is no business or any technology that uses only SD, ALE or ALE, EDA, iDoc. It depends on that. Okay, interfaces these are.
Okay.
These are helping.
SD is like what? Shipping and development?
SD is like marketing. SD is like.
What does SD stand for?
Sales and distribution.
Sales and distribution. Okay. And
the marketer, whatever the things that you do, that he does in the regular business, in order to sell his product.
Okay.
That is SD. Okay.
No, but I am doing EDI right now. It is SQL based. The backend is SQL. Okay. I am doing EDI. For a person doing EDI and going into SAP, SAP, what do you think I should be doing? What is a good way to step into SAP field?
SAP actually, I am an SAP SD consultant. Okay.
Okay.
So I am just a minute. So I am an SAP SD consultant. So first of all, you should know where ALE, EDI, iDocs are used. Do you have,
okay.
I think you have idea, right?
Right.
So in distributed environments, right?
Right.
So what is meant by distributed environments? When you want to sell a document from one ERP system to another.
Yeah.
Okay, without manual intervention. The system has to post the document automatically.
Right.
So for that purpose, we use two mediums. One is ALE, EDI. One is ALE, another one is EDI. So what is the difference between ALE and EDI? Both are used to transmit one document from one ERP
system to another. Yes. Right.
But what is the difference between these two?
I don't know. EDI is the backend is on SQL everything, and this is SAP environment. ALE
supports only SAP to SAP. Means the customer vendor should have SAP system and the businessman should have SAP system.
Oh, okay, okay. Both the interfaces we have. Okay, okay.
Yeah, similar. Okay, same.
Hmm.
But EDA supports between SAP to SAP, SAP to non-SAP also. If the other guy
Oh,
using Oracle or
uh-huh.
Microsoft or JD Edwards,
Okay,
so you can still transmit your document from SAP system to that system. That is
okay.
EDA,
Right.
electronic data interchange.
Interface, yeah.
Yeah. So EDA is the very popular tool worldwide.
Right, right.
Okay, compared with ALE, very few organizations use ALE because it has the other side, the other end should be SAP system only, that you cannot guarantee.
Right, right.
So that is basically what is the importance of these tools, ALE,
I
IDOC,
understand.
EDA.
Okay, okay. Uh-huh.
So these tools comes into picture only when any sales process starts, when any this thing vendor interaction with vendor is there, like
Okay.
in that kind of scenario. So the
Right.
front end will be SD, the back end will be interface.
Okay.
So for that purpose only we use these three, but there are no vacancies that ask only IDOC, ALE, EDA.
They will help, they will need a background of SD also.
Yeah, they'll need.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I have seen few organizations, they ask for interface consultant,
Mm-hmm.
but that interface consultant should have knowledge about SD,
Okay.
because I have seen ABAPers, okay, technical people learning SD.
Okay.
The reason is until and unless they understand what is happening in the business process, they
Mm-hmm.
cannot develop the program.
Okay.
Okay. We have to make them sit, and for hours together we need to explain them the business scenario for which they are totally new.
Okay.
Okay. That is the reason. Okay, that is the reason we always this thing use EDA and all and the backend.
Okay.
Business process is the backbone for everything.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the reason SD is the basic business process core module. So 7 years ago I have entered, still I am here only. I would love to be here only.
Okay.
I don't have any fear that there will be no vacancies going forward, technology advances and all.
Good.
No,
Good. Okay.
wherever
Okay.
it goes, SAP, SD should be there.
Okay. Good.
So importance wise, like can you imagine a company is doesn't have a marketing guy but still it can sell?
No, right. You need to have a sales department and marketing as well.
Breadwinner, right?
Right.
Likewise, in any ERP environment, like it might be an implementation project where you start implementing SAP, or you have already implemented SAP and somebody has to be there to take care of the ERP system.
Right.
That is support project. At any point, any kind of project, SD guy is the default.
Okay.
So without him, nothing will happen. Okay.
Okay.
That is the reason SD is the backbone for entire ERP.
Okay.
This is the basic thing, understanding about SAP sales and distribution. So in SAP SD, okay, we deal with the basic sales process. In the normal world, what we'll do is we'll go and go to the shop or Walmart or somewhere. We'll purchase the product. We'll pay the money, bring the product to the residence. That's all. Okay.
Okay.
But here in SAP, we'll discuss about some 20 plus scenarios, diverse topics related to the same business. Those are not new. Okay. You might have come across at one point of your life. Okay. So we are not going to discuss anything new business process. You might be aware of. There is a possibility for that.
Okay.
So normally, first of all, we need to understand where the sales process starts. Okay.
Okay.
So for example, if I want to purchase one refrigerator, okay, obviously, okay, male, gents will not be aware of much about refrigerator. Household wives will know better than us, irrespective of the education level we have. Why?
Right.
They are the people who are using.
Yeah, using day to day, right.
day to day. So they'll be having complete idea, but obviously we'll not be having complete idea. So what we'll do, we'll call one person, sales executive from LG or Samsung. We'll ask him to uh, give knowledge, to introduce about the features in their product, right?
Okay.
So what we are doing in that stage, we are doing an inquiry about the basic nature and the basic this thing, uh, features available in the product, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll compare so many things. Okay, features like if 10 years ago I have heard about GoldenEye technology, something in Godrej. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, golden of something. Okay, nowadays LG came up with frost free. Okay,
Okay.
nanotechnologies also came. So
Mm-hmm.
different. So the sales executive will try to introduce all the models, and he'll explain you about all the things.
Okay.
Okay. Not only LG guy, Samsung, Whirlpool, Godrej, you take a number of companies and you call everybody and get an interaction about their product.
Okay.
So you come to an understanding about that. Okay, this product is okay. Okay, features wise.
Mm-hmm.
You don't touch. Okay, first of all, the product should be okay for you. Later, whether to purchase or not, that decision comes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you feel like the product is okay, so at what stage you are in? You are in this inquiry stage. The next stage, the next thing you ask is, at what price you sell the product to me, right now? So that is, you are asking a quotation to the sales executive, right? From the sales executive, you are expecting that, right?
Right.
Quotation means he'll quote the price. Okay, then you take a calculated decision comparing prices related to all the products like LG, Samsung, Whirlpool, all these refrigerators, and you take a calculated decision based on the features, goodwill, durability, after sales service. Okay, all these
Yes.
parameters. One call center support also is there or not. So all these things you take care of. Okay, you just look at it and take a calculated decision. Then let us assume you have selected LG based on the durability and after sales service. Then means in that quotation stage, you negotiate the price also, right?
Right.
So if he says 10,000, 12,000, you negotiate for 12,000, 10,000 and he agrees for it. Then the customer is going to generate a purchase order. Right now, see, in the business transaction, oral discussion doesn't have any meaning. Everything
Right.
should be on papers.
Paper.
So
Yeah.
he'll say, okay, I have agreed, you send 100 refrigerators. Fine. Oral transaction cannot be taken as granted. So he'll send a purchase order to you for the supply of 100 refrigerators. Then what will be there in a purchase order? The product that he wants means refrigerator, model number, later price at which he has negotiated. Okay. Next delivery terms means after how many days the product will be delivered, and payment terms, because payment terms means what? Once the company generates the invoice,
Mm-hmm.
immediately he cannot knock at your door, right?
Yeah.
If you have a broadband connection in your residence,
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning of every month, maybe 3rd or 5th, you will get one bill. So on that bill, due date will be there. At least 1 week to 10 days he will give due date, right?
Right.
So means between generation of invoice, that is billing, and payment, there will be 1 week or 10 days or sometimes 45 days also, based on the product and based on the industry.
Right.
Okay, so that is what is called as payment terms. How to pay, when to pay. All these
Okay.
things will be put into purchase order, and he sends the purchase order to you, right?
Okay.
So with reference to that purchase order, as an acceptance of that purchase order, he has sent a purchase order, fine, that needs to be accepted by us also, right?
Right.
So as an acceptance, we will generate a sales order and send the sales order to the customer. Okay. Then the customer compares the sales order that you have generated with that of his PO, purchase order.
Okay.
So normally discrepancies will not come when he compares both, but there is every possibility sometimes either the quantity or price or delivery terms, means delivery time that he is asking for 60 days, you specify 70 days in your sales order.
I understand. Right.
Yeah, so he'll again give a call or send an email to you saying that there is some difference. You modify the sales order again and send across, finalize the thing. Then you start producing the product and do the delivery, that is shipping.
Okay.
Okay. Once you do the delivery, then immediately you generate the invoice.
Right.
Okay. After generating the invoice, you are going to collect the payment from the customer after 15 or 15 days based on the payment terms.
Payment terms. Right.
Okay. So this is the standard way of doing business, normal, irrespective of the industry. 99% of the business will happen this way only.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So here we need to understand one thing. We are calling a person as customer before he places an order, right?
Right.
So can I call him as a customer?
Yep. Yeah.
Here he is inquiring about the product.
Right.
He never entered into a business transaction with you.
Yes.
Okay. Neither you are aware of him.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So there is no business relationship between both of you.
Right.
So can you call that person as a customer? He never done the business with you. First time.
Possible customer.
Possible customer. So
Yeah. It's just an inquiry right now. He can become your customer.
yeah, there is possibility for him to convert as a customer.
Customer. Yeah.
So that person, okay, will be called as prospect.
Prospect. Yes.
Okay. So a prospect will be converted as a customer.
Right.
Okay. So if you have 100 inquiry, okay, normally in any industry, the conversion rate will be 3 to 5%.
Right. I agree.
So 5% if you take maximum. Okay. So a prospect will join at the business stage, in the business process at the inquiry stage, right? At this stage, right? He'll start with inquiring about the product. Why? Because he doesn't know about the product, neither the price also, right?
Right.
Then he'll start at this process of the business process.
And
An
right.
existing customer, he'll never inquire, he'll never ask for quotation because he is regularly placing an order and doing the business.
Right.
He knows the product, he knows the price.
Right.
And he gives a phone call to you and asks you, can you deliver the product within this timeline? That's all.
Right.
He'll generate a purchase order, you generate a sales order. Means
Right.
he's going to join at this stage of the business process.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Sales order level.
Right.
If you think about any business, 90 to 95% of the business originates and comes from existing customer,
Right.
not the new customer.
Yeah.
So 5 to 10% of the contribution comes from new customers. For a period of time, new customers becomes old customers.
Cost customers. Right.
Old customers, one or two people, obviously they will go.
Mm-hmm.
This is a cycle, business cycle.
Right.
Okay. But at any point, 90 to 90% of the business will be contributed by existing customers.
Right.
So means sales, delivery, that is shipping and billing. This is these three.
Right.
So these three processes are very important from SD perspective. Our major configuration and everything will go to this level. So say our major focus will be sales, delivery and billing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this process, actually there are so many chapters in SAP. Normally we have one big chapter, the biggest chapter in SAP SD, that is sales documents.
Okay.
Sales document is nothing but sales scenario. Sales scenario is a way of doing business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here, this is the standard way. Okay, sales order. So the customer generates a PO. You generate a sales order. After generating the sales order, after 6 days, you deliver the product. After delivering the product, immediately you generate the bill. After generating the bill, after 15 days, you collect the payment from the customer. This is the
Right.
standard way of doing business. Okay.
And right.
So this is one business scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This business scenario will configure with the help of a document called as standard order.
Okay.
Okay. Standard order.
Okay.
Okay. this is standard way. But can we assume that every time the customer waits for 60 days?
Customer waits for 60 days? No.
He'll not. Normally 80% of the customers, they'll give a call and ask you, I have a good order for you. Can you deliver the product within 30 days?
Right.
Yeah. So if you say no, he'll not come back again.
He come back to you, yeah.
Gone. Gone means gone. That's all.
Yes.
So for a regular customer, you can never say no. You have
Yes.
to take that.
Yes.
But because you are delivering very early, if you ask him to pay in advance, he'll never pay.
No.
He'll pay only after 15 days of
After whatever the terms are, yeah.
He'll never come to our terms. He says, you tell me whether you can deliver or not, or else I'll purchase it from somebody else. That's all.
Yes. Yes.
Then we have to take the order.
Yes.
Fine. So what is the difference between that urgent order and normal, the standard order? He'll generate a purchase order, we generate a sales order, we do the delivery after 30 days in the place of 60 days. We generate an invoice immediately.
Right.
After 15 days only, we are going to collect the payment. He'll
Payment.
not pay even 1 day before.
Right.
So the difference between that urgent order and regular order is shipping time, delivery time that is provided by the customer.
Customer. Okay.
Okay. So customer provides 60 days in the standard order and 30 days in the
Urgent order.
Urgent order. Okay.
Mhm.
This urgent order, in SAP we call it as rush order.
Sorry?
Rush order. RUSH.
Rush order. Okay. Rush order. Okay.
Rush order. So for standard order we have a code VOR. VOR.
VOR.
I am typing here.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, Sheetal, there is a disturbance, sorry. Okay. So you are able to view this, right? I am typing here.
No, I cannot view what you are typing.
In the chat box I am.
Chat box. Okay. Okay. Sorry.
So screen also you are able to view, right? Now?
Yes, screen is, but I am not seeing any chatting you have done.
Actually you can see in the GoToMeeting.
I am in GoToMeeting where I can see you had written, can you be louder? And Shriram, your voice.
I have written here, is it low? Yeah. So I have written here in the chat box.
I can't see the chat.
It is open. 1 minute.
Can you, I just did hello. Can you read it? There, right?
Yeah, it is there.
I don't see your chat.
I'll do one thing. I'll type here itself in the Word document. Okay. Right. I'll type here. Okay.
Where?
In the Word document. You are able to view my screen? Now?
Okay. Yeah, I'm able to view. Yes.
My is there, right? Okay. So I'm typing here.
Okay. I can't see where you're typing. I can see your screen where the graph is, like the flow chart is, but still can't see what you're typing.
Now you are able to see.
No.
Now also.
No, nothing. I'm just seeing.
You are still viewing this graph.
Yeah.
Synchronization is happening a bit slow. That is the thing. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay.
That's okay. We can continue. What is it called? VOR?
No, OR. O for
OR.
R for
Okay.
rat.
Okay. Or. Okay. Huh.
OR. Okay.
OR.
Standard order.
Okay. And that is rush order. Okay.
Rush order. Rush order is RO. R for Rajasthan, O for Arts. Okay.
Okay.
RO. Standard order is OR. Rush order is RO.
Okay.
Reverse. Okay.
Right.
So the basic difference between these two is only delivery time, stipulated time.
Yes.
Okay, this is the second type of business scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Third type of business scenario, you go to Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you bring all the products. It may be soaps, detergents, or any kind of. You bring all the products that you selected,
Mm-hmm.
and bring the cart and keep it in front of him, right?
Right.
Then he'll take the bill, okay, prices through barcode reader, and
Mm-hmm.
generates an invoice and give the invoice to you.
Right.
Right. So once you pay the money, then only he'll give the bag to you, right? With
Right.
that all the products that you have selected are there. But if you don't pay, he will not give you.
Right.
Then he is delivering. He is giving the product only after you pay the
Pay.
money. Means
Right.
after sales order, billing is happening, right? It is not delivering. First
Right.
he is taking the money. He is doing the billing, generating the invoice. Once you pay, then only he is giving delivery. Means after sales order, billing will come. After sales order, billing will come, and
Right.
after billing only delivery will
Then delivery came.
come. The process is a bit reversed.
Reverse. Yeah. The last two steps are reversed.
Reverse, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is basically a cash transaction, right?
Okay. Right.
So this we are going to configure with the help of a document type called as CS. C for cat, S for sun. C for
Okay.
cash sales.
Okay.
C for cash, S for sales. Cash sales.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is one kind of business process. Okay.
Okay.
You take another business process.
Okay.
You take any manufacturing process, there will be a standard defective rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, when you are purchasing, when you place an order with a garment manufacturer,
Mm-hmm.
so let us assume you have ordered for 100 shirts. So if he gives inputs for 100 shirts, will he be able to get output 100?
No.
No. So there will be every possibility for damages.
Right.
Okay, so at least based on the industry, in a production process, based on the industry, the defective rate might be 3%, 5%, even 10%. Based on the industry, based on the kind of product, based on the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when I say customer, you take Japanese customer.
Okay.
Japanese customer is highly quality conscious.
Mm-hmm.
So you take any kind of product that you are supplying to Japan, that product defective rate will be more. Means he will not accept the product until unless it is so good.
Yeah.
Then he'll pay premium, and according to that rejection rate also will be very high.
Right.
So based on the industry, based on the kind of customer, the rejection rate, product, and based on the product, the rejection rate depends on.
Okay.
So when you are producing garments, let us take 5% is the rejection rate.
Mm-hmm.
That rejection rate is a standard that the customer knows and the businessman also knows.
Right.
Then what the businessman says, okay, what the customer says, okay, I'll take plus or minus 5% shipment. What does
Right.
it mean by plus or minus 5%? If he orders 100 pieces, he'll
Mm-hmm.
take 105. He'll not take 106.
Okay.
If he orders 100 pieces, if it is short shipment because of high defective rate and all, if you want to short ship, you can short ship by 5 pieces. Means he'll take 95. He'll not accept 94.
Okay.
So that is the defective rate. So let us assume we have collected payment for 100 pieces, 100 shirts.
Mm-hmm.
1000 rupees. 1000 rupees is the cost of each shirt. 1 lakh rupees we have collected the money from the customer,
Okay.
and we have delivered 105 pieces to the customer.
Okay.
Then how much money we are supposed to receive from the customer?
Don't know.
We have already collected 1 lakh rupees from the customer.
Uh-huh.
Then 1000 rupees each shirt. So 1000 into 100. How much? 1 lakh rupees.
1 lakh. Okay.
We have already collected 1 lakh. Okay, according to the defective rate, so he can accept up to 105 pieces.
Yeah, if it's more than that, then he will do returns.
Yeah, so no, he'll not return. Why? He told he'll take plus or minus 5% of the shipment.
Yeah, but it's more than plus or minus. Okay.
105 means he'll take 5 is under the tolerance limit only, right?
Okay.
So he'll take 5 pieces. Has to. He cannot say no.
No, right.
Okay, you have delivered, but you have collected money for 100 pieces only. Sure. Then how much you are supposed to collect for 5 pieces? You need to get the money from the customer.
Okay.
But you already billed the customer. Then how we can collect? We need to collect the money to collect money from the customer. That is 5,000 rupees. For the excess quantity we have delivered. Okay.
Okay.
So in the business you might have come across a term called as debit note.
Yes.
So when a customer generates a debit note,
1 second, but he already placed an order for 1,000, right? And out of those 1,000, you are saying 5 are defective?
no, 100 pieces he has placed an order, and as a businessman I have produced and delivered 105 pieces.
105 pieces you deliver.
Yes, 105 pieces I have delivered, and according to the agreement he has to take plus or minus 5% shipment, that is tolerance limit.
Okay, so we have to buy, okay, then we will create a debit note for that customer for that 5 pieces, like 5,000 rupees a debit will be created in the accounts.
Yes, because we have to go for debit note. We call it as debit memo.
Okay.
Debit memo.
Okay.
We generate a debit memo and send across to the customer and he pays the money.
Right.
Okay, in the business, irrespective of the counterpart, whether it is might be businessman and vendor, might be customer and businessman. Okay.
Right.
The person who collects the money will generate a debit memo.
Right.
The person who pays the money will generate credit memo.
Right.
So if you have delivered only 95 pieces, then
There will be a credit memo, yeah.
5,000 rupees you are supposed to return the money to the customer.
Yeah, so you just keep a credit, so next time when they invoice you, you will just use those credit against the payment.
It depends. Sometimes a few customers they'll settle bill to bill.
Okay.
Transaction to transaction. Then in that scenario, we need to immediately send that credit memo and close that order.
Okay.
Okay. So as you said, if the customer accepts to carry forward the amount to some other order and pay less in that future order, that is okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Normally we close the order then and there itself.
Okay.
It is pertaining to that transaction only.
Okay.
Okay. Right. These two are debit memo and credit memo are two different business processes again.
Right.
So there is obvious one more process. Okay. Without that, no sales process will be closed. That is sales returns.
Right.
If you send 100 refrigerators to one customer, if 10 are not working, what he'll do? He'll give a call and tell you that, inform you that those are not working. 10 are not working. I am returning.
Right.
Then you have to accept that return.
Okay.
So then we'll receive that returns with the help of a document called as RE, returns, sales returns.
Right.
Okay, we denote that sales returns with the code RE, R for returns, okay, E for elephant, RE.
Okay.
Okay. Next, you take, but you have taken the product back, then you need to compensate the customer for the loss, right? So how, as a businessman, do you pay the money back or do you replace the product with a good product?
Replace the, we can give them the we can give option to the customer what they do want. They want the products, we can replace it or we can generate a credit memo.
Yeah, actually, yeah, both are there. Okay.
Right.
Either the customer chooses or you give him an option. Okay.
Right.
Normally, as a businessman, I try to sell.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't want to pay back money from my pocket because for one reason is I don't want to lose money from my pocket. Another reason is, okay, I want to satisfy the customer who is dissatisfied with the defective product. Okay, I want to satisfy the customer satisfy the customer with a good product.
Right.
So if I can satisfy him with a good product, he feels like, okay, defectives will be there. Okay, chalo, no problem. This is working fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you leave the customer by paying him back, then he'll never come back to you.
Right.
So that is the reason, as a businessman, it is not advisable to pay the money back to the customer. So in that
Okay.
scenario, what we will do, we'll replace the product.
Okay.
Then what you are doing replacing means you are shipping the product, right?
Yes.
So when you do the shipping, after shipping immediately the system asks for billing. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But you already collected the money from the customer. You cannot bill him again, right?
Uh-huh.
Then you cannot deliver the product to regular delivery. So you have to use another kind of document, that is subsequent delivery free of charge, SDF. Subsequent delivery free of charge. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With the help of that, we are going to return replace the product and send another delivery with good pieces. Then the system understands that this person. Okay,
So we will not charge the shipping thing, right?
yeah, the system will not ask for billing. Why?
Okay.
It will understand that, okay, this person taken the product, returns, that is the reason he is delivering. When you use another kind of document, that is SDF, not WAR.
Okay.
Through SDF you do the delivery. So this is another kind of process. As usual, if the customer asks for payment, then you generate a credit memo and pay him.
Okay.
Okay. These are the regular scenarios that you come across in any kind of business normally, right now. I don't think these are new for you. Maybe process the way you have listened from me is different, but these are the common practice in any industry, right?
Right.
Yeah. So another scenario, okay, you take if you have gone to one saree cloth emporium, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if a particular saree is not available with him, so he'll send his buy to his brother or some normally. Okay, how the tradition is, okay, in one town or city, 4 or 5 brothers do the business in different areas of the business, areas of the town, right?
Okay.
So if the saree is not available with one guy, he'll send his buy to his brother.
Okay.
He'll get the saree from him and deliver the saree to you.
Okay.
So if you pay 10,000 rupees to the businessman as price,
Mm-hmm.
he'll pay 8,000 rupees to his brother.
Okay.
So means there will be a lesser price for them when they exchange the product.
Right.
Okay. Both of them are siblings, brothers, means they are related.
Mm-hmm.
So when this kind of business process is there, this is when the businessman doesn't have product with him, he is taking the product from its sister concern and delivering the product to you. Okay.
Okay.
So these two are related shops. Shops are businessmen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we are delivering the product to the customer by taking from our sister concern, that kind of process we can configure in SAP with the help of a document called as intercompany sales process. Another entirely different process. Intercompany sales process. I tell you the relationship.
Okay.
You know Tata company?
Mm-hmm.
Tata company is having Tata Motors and Tata Automobiles also.
Okay.
Tata Automobiles produces trucks, heavy vehicles.
Right.
Okay. Tata Motors produces cars basically.
Okay.
So as a customer, for example, one transport agency place an order for 1 lakh for the supply of 1 lakh Indicas with Tata Motors.
Okay.
Okay, it doesn't have stock, neither production capacity. Then what is the option Tata Motors is having? It approaches Tata Automobiles. Why? Even though the size of the engine, mold, everything is different, the manufacturing process, that is automotive manufacturing process, is same in both the companies.
Right.
So how the parts are assembled and all for cars and lorries, both are same only.
Okay.
So this order will be placed with Tata Motors place this order with Tata Automobiles
Okay.
and get it produced there and deliver the product to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Then both are sister concerns only, right, under Tata umbrella.
Right.
So since the production capacity neither stock is available, Tata Motors placed the order with sister concern.
Okay.
So when you have this kind of business process, this is called as intercompany sales process.
Okay.
Intercompany
Sales process. Okay.
Okay, fine. So we are assuming that because Tata Motors doesn't have stock neither production capacity, it is approaching Tata Automobiles and from it is getting produced and delivering the product to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Let us assume a scenario where Tata Automobiles also is running out of stock neither production capacity. Then what is the option?
Sorry, come again.
Here Tata Motors accepted the order from customer for the supply of 1 lakh Indy cars.
Okay.
1 lakh cars.
Mm-hmm.
And since there is no production capacity, neither stock with Tata Motors, it places the order with Tata Automobiles and deliver the product to the customer, right?
Okay.
This is intercompany sales process.
Mm-hmm.
But let us assume even with Tata Automobiles also stock or production capacity is not available. Both companies, there is no possibility.
Cannot fulfill the order. Yeah.
Cannot fulfill the order. Then what is the option that is left over to Tata Motors?
Don't know.
It has to approach one vendor
Who is selling Tata? Yeah. Okay. Right.
who is into the same industry.
Same industry and selling the same Indy cars or whatever car. Same product.
Yeah, who is capable of producing the same product.
Right.
So it has to place an order with Mahindra and Mahindra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Mahindra and Mahindra, even though he is a competitor, he will act as a vendor here.
Right.
To Tata Motors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Mahindra and Mahindra, Tata Motors place an order with Mahindra and Mahindra and deliver the Mahindra and Mahindra delivers the product directly to the customer, not to Tata.
Under the name of Tata.
Yeah, under the name of Tata, it will deliver, but delivery address, obviously the delivery document to be prepared with what address? Mahindra and Mahindra address only, right?
Right.
The plant is Mahindra and Mahindra's plant only, name, everything. It is
Right.
crystal clear. It is neatly the customer can understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here, this process is called as third party sales.
Okay.
Why we have to call it as third party?
Because the third party is in what? Mahindra and Mahindra.
Yeah.
The customer is the first party, second is the Tata, and now the third party is Mahindra.
No, you have to understand a bit different. You are very nearby to the logic. Great. Actually, you are able to get the logic. It is really great. Here you need to understand Tata Motors is the first party.
Okay.
Tata Automobiles is the second party.
Right. Understood. Right.
Okay. Actually, you are very nearby.
No, yeah, I made the customer as one party, but no, yeah, I understand now. Yeah. Okay.
It is very nice because I never seen a student who is able to understand first party, second party this logic when I was giving teaching. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
You are the first person to come into that logic yourself before I introduce.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
So first person is Tata Motors, second person is Tata Automobiles,
Automobiles.
third
Yeah.
person is an outsider, that is Mahindra.
Mahindra.
Third party sales.
Okay.
This is called as third party sales because third person has been involved.
Mm-hmm.
So here there is every possibility for the customer to know about the production place, that is Tata Mahindra.
Right.
So in this process, Mahindra, there is every possibility for Mahindra and Mahindra sales guy to approach the customer and say, I'll get it produced for 1 lakh rupees lesser price.
Okay.
Our customer will try to keep an option, means supplier, whereas now he is only having Tata Motors. He wants to keep another option also. Okay, so he will negotiate with Mahindra and Mahindra, can you produce for me?
Right.
In either scenario, Tata Motors will be at the loss.
Right.
So Tata Motors doesn't want to have this kind of danger. So what it does, it will instruct Mahindra and Mahindra to deliver directly to Tata Motors only.
Oh, and then they will deliver to the customer.
Yes. Then the
Okay.
customer doesn't know
About,
from where
yeah.
the product happened. Right now,
Yeah. Right, right.
this process is called as individual purchase order.
Okay.
Individual purchase order.
Individual. Okay.
Okay. So the only difference between third party and individual purchase order is only delivery. Whereas
Right.
Mahindra directly delivers to the customer. Here Tata Motors is doing the delivery.
Yeah.
Only difference.
Yeah.
Okay. Like this kind of different business processes. Okay, you learn approximately 20 plus scenarios.
Right, right. Understand.
Okay, in say PhD. So
Okay.
it takes approximately 2 to 2.5 months, not more than that. Okay.
Okay.
And every month, every day, 1 to 1.5 hour I'll take. And,
So it is like every day? Every day I can't do because I'm saying I can do only weekends, Saturday and Sunday.
then
But
can you get 3 or 4 hours on each day, 3 hour session?
3 hour session in Saturday and 3 hours in Sunday?
Yeah.
When will I do my chores?
Actually, the thing is, I don't have an issue.
No, I understand. Yeah, I'm agreeing. I'm not complaining to you. Don't take me wrong, but I only get that. I'll try. I don't know. I will have to think about it.
Here, if you want to take lesser hours, okay, then you need
No,
to
I don't
spend-
want to take lesser hour. I want to complete in whatever time. I don't want to hurry and just be done with it. This is not because I'm here to learn, not complete it,
Yeah,
not complete the course, you know.
then you are the right student for me because I don't have that attitude. Finishing the course and winding,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I don't believe in that.
Yeah, so I know because my life is really hectic right now. I would try, but I don't know. And how much is the course worth? Like 550, right?
Pardon?
How much is the course, like the charge for the entire course, SDs?
That you discuss with Karthik.
Sure.
Sheetal.
Okay, 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 I'm sorry, I didn't know that you were not aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here actually normal regular sessions, how much time it takes, I am telling you. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So if you want to this thing, make sure you do your work and this session should not disturb your work, and
Okay.
then you can do at your own pace.
Okay.
But it takes a bit more time.
I understand, definitely. How much is like regular? You are saying no, if I'm doing Saturday, Sunday, so it will be more time, right?
If you want to take Saturdays and Sundays,
Uh-huh.
you spend 2 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Then maybe 1 month you have to spend more, not more than that.
So around 3 and 4 months, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm not in any hurry, like, you know, I have a job right now, but this is for the future and for the development, for getting a good job. So it doesn't matter if it three, but I want to do it the right way.
Yeah. I don't this thing advise any student to be in a hurry, and I want the student to learn. Actually.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I have seen students. Okay, I'll understand their practice level also. If I feel
Right.
like at one point of time they are not able to understand my future scenarios that I am teaching, I clearly estimate them that they are not practicing.
Right, right.
So I'll give 1 week time. I'll ask them to prepare and come back because
Yeah.
it is useless teaching.
Yeah,
Forward.
exactly, I agree. Your name is Mr. Sriram, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have a nice day. Bye.